Hey everybody, it's your girl Charlotte Van Horn, Black Expats in Panama. And I just want to hop on here real quick and just tell you a little bit about myself. Well, let me start with the fact that I am wife, mom, nana to cousin twins. Yes, I am married. My husband is Panamanian. We have three daughters and we have two grandchildren. And our grandchildren were born on the same exact day. And people say, oh, you mean they have the same birthday? No, I mean for real, for real. They were born on the same day, at the same time, at the same hour. One was born on Central Time in Texas, and the other was born on Eastern Time in Florida on July 25th, which just happened to be me and my husband's 17th anniversary. So I always love telling that story. So we have Ruby Jean Johnson, and then we also have Zola Abeyo Olafemi. So we are just excited to see what direction our children's lives are going to take, because it was just such an amazing thing. So I don't know, I just like to tell that story. But in addition to that, some of the things that I have been called are stand-up comedian, Sister Locks consultant, secretary. I've been a secretary all my life. For a lot of years, I was a secretary. I'm a radio show host. I'm a podcaster. I'm a small business coach. I'm an influencer. I'm a relocation specialist. I'm a blogger. And your favorite CEO, baby. I own Lux Forever, which is a Sister Lux boutique, pretty much. And we transferred over to Panama. I own Black Expats in Panama, which we'll talk a little bit about. And then also, I own part owner to Black Expats Worldwide. Yeah, baby, we taking this thing all over the world. My latest acquisition is Sisters in Panama. And Sisters in Panama is very special to me. It started out as Sister Locks in Panama. And I was the first to bring, Sister Locks to Panama. So I needed to introduce Sister Locks to Panama, and I wanted to introduce my clients and vice versa. What I'm saying is vice versa. And so I brought them over, but it just grew into so much more. It is so much about women empowerment. It's about us being the queens that we are. We were just able to forge so many amazing relationships out of that. We are so tight. And so what we did was, it's called SIP, Sister Locked in Panama. We rebranded it this year to Sisters in Panama, and it's going to be extra special. It's going to be more about empowerment. We're going to bring in some speakers and things like that. So it's kind of like turning into a retreat. So those are kind of a little bit things that I do. As far as me personally, talking about traits and different things, I am a natural born leader. I always have been. And listen, when I was little, I would take a butt beating to do what I wanted to do. And my mama asked me why I did it. I said, because I wanted to. So I learned a lot of stuff the hard way. But, I always wasn't, I was always willing to do what I needed to do. And I never followed anybody. And in all the mistakes that I've made in my life, and I have made a lot, believe me, I don't give nobody credit for my success, and I don't give nobody credit for my failure. Those are all choices that I made for myself, okay? And so I own that, baby. And everything that I've done, whether it was good or bad, have brought me to the place that I am right now. And I am in a magnificent, marvelous, wonderful place. And I just love it. So I'm a natural born leader. As you can probably tell, I'm a little bit of a clown, okay? That just kind of, I don't know, comes with the territory. I am who I am. I think that one of my strongest attributes is that I'm authentic. I'm very, very far from perfect, but I'm very, very good with that. I'm okay with that. And as far as I'm concerned, authenticity is the new sexy, baby, okay? Because authenticity is something that you just don't get a lot anymore. I mean, with this World Wide Web and this internet, you can be whoever you want to be. But people still can recognize authenticity. And I think one of the things that draws people to me is that they know it is what it is. You know, what you see is what you get. And when they come on my tours, they say, wow, you're the same as you are on YouTube. Well, I don't know who else to be. You know what I'm saying? When I can figure out somebody better to be, that's when I'm going to be that person. But until now, this is who I am. This is what you get. And I'm okay with that. And then the other thing I think is that peace is the new prosperity, you know, because at the end of the day, we want that peace in our lives. It gets to a place where it's like, you know, I don't need another pair of shoes. Okay. What I need is some peace in my life. I need to go to sleep and feel relaxed. I need to wake up and feel happy and not just, you know, anxious about what's coming. So transparency, authenticity. I come from a very small town in Glassboro, New Jersey, and I'm very proud of that. Like my daughter, every time I take her there, she say, "Ma, I'm so glad you didn't raise me here," but that's okay, you know, because I was raised there. I wouldn't want to raise her there. But I never begrudged the fact that I was raised there because I got things that I guess some other people didn't get. You know, I like being raised in a place where, well, when I wasn't getting into trouble because everybody knew who you was by the way you looked, okay? But I like being raised in a place where everybody knew everybody. Like all of my friends, our parents had gone to school together and stuff. And, you know, I just like that. I like being able to, you know, reach back to Glassboro and encourage them to get outside of Glassboro. You know how it is with small towns, you know, sometimes they just want to stay there. So part of my mission and part of the things that I do now is just to encourage my brothers and sisters in Glassboro and in every small town in the United States that all things are possible. You know, just don't consider that it can't be done. I like the fact when they can look up and see, hey, there's a home girl, you know, and she's doing her thing. Yeah, I like that. So that's kind of what I like. I'm a little rough around the edges, you know, but that's okay. I can be real cool too, but just don't let the smooth taste fool you. Um, I admire Oprah, and I admire Gail, and I admire their relationship. And I appreciate a relationship that I have in my life like that. My bestest friend in the whole wide world is Karen. And we speak every day. And she's the one that can tell me anything about myself. She's the one that I can tell anything to. She is my biggest cheerleader. She is that person in my life that I know, you know, everybody that's your family is not necessarily have the same blood running in their veins. Because when I talk about, you know, my best friend, that's my girl, baby. That is, I'm the Oprah and she's Gail. That's what we do. We pretend that we're Oprah and Gail all the time. I think one of the highest compliments that I've received lately is Harriet. You know, I'm about to talk about the Black Expats in Panama movement and how I got into that. And I started bringing so many people, so many Black people from the United States to Panama that people started just randomly calling me Harriet. I mean, literally, like from different walks and aspects of my life. And I think, of course, that's a high compliment. I would never call myself Harriet because, you know, Harriet Tubman was, you know, I mean, yes, I ain't no Harriet for real. But, you know, they really like to think of me as that. But what I like to do is I like changing lives. And when I participate in changing the lives of others, I benefit because my life gets changed too. And I swear that, you know, in this walk that I'm doing right now, I haven't asked anybody for anything. Everything has come to me. And I really believe that it's just a matter of, it's God. I'm spiritual, not churchy, but it's God, and it's about reaping what you sow. And I love sowing into other people. It is just the thing that I do that I love really doing. To talk about Black expats in Panama in particular, Black expats in Panama was created back in May of 2019. Basically, I mean, full transparency, I just created this Facebook group because there wasn't one that spoke to me. I was becoming a Black expat in Panama. You know, my husband and I, we had invested in Panama back in 2012. And I was at this point really starting to transition. And I was bringing the business, my sister-in-law's business here, and basically I needed foreigners. Yeah, I knew that the primary client would be a foreigner, you know, or um, yes, foreigners, an expat. I kept looking on Facebook and for something Black, because I mean, we look for different things, and that is just a reality, right? We look for different things, and I just wasn't seeing it. Nothing I saw was resonating with me. And so me and my silly self just kept going back to the Facebook like every week or every other week, like something was going to appear. And then finally it dawned on me, girl, just started. So I started it in 2019. From May of 2019 to May of 2020, we had amassed an entire 200 members. I was, you know, mainly just me, you know, keeping the page going, and, you know, people kept coming on slowly but surely. But George Floyd, COVID, Karen in the park, and the political climate in the United States collided in May of 2020. And I remember watching Gail Gail King on the TV, and we watched George Floyd be murdered in front of our eyes, and then Karen in the park. And when it got back to Gail, she was just like, "This is just too much. This is just too much today." And I just could remember connecting with that. And I was like, "You're right. It is too much." And as it turns out, she was exactly right, and so was I. And that feeling just like grew, and started to spread out. And what started to happen was the page that took, you know, a year to get 200, I'm just like getting all these questions, all these people wanting to get in. It was like boom, boom, boom. And, you know, what is it like in Panama? You know, is there Black people there? You know, what's the culture like and everything? And I said, oh my goodness, it really just exploded. And so I connected with a destination management company that I know, ITA Global. We had done some other work together, and I'm like, hey, Chris, president of the company, he's on the ground here in Panama. And I was like, something is happening. And I said, in my page, you know, people are wanting information. People are wanting to know what it's like in Panama. I said, help me put together a trip, a relocation tour that has a cultural component. And he started to work on that. Now, the cultural component, you can't come to Panama as a Black expat in Panama and not go to Cologne. Cologne is like the Black city here in this region. And Cologne has a strong Congo background to it. I had Black people, I had white people tell me, do not take people to Cologne, okay? Because Cologne, like so many cities in the United States, definitely have its issues, okay? And I said, you know what? I'm going to Cologne. And I'm so grateful for that decision. I said, Chris, I need you to find me Afro-Panamanian tour guides. I need for us to be able to take our clients to Cologne and explain to them and give them the history and the historical reference of why Cologne is the way that it is. I'm tired of everybody just saying how bad it is, how ugly it is, how raggedy it is. Why? You know, I wanted to be able to share with people the why, and share with people the why at the same time, show them areas that they can live in. And I just felt like the whole cultural component is what made us so different. And at the end of the day, one of the things that has made our tour so famous is that day. So we created a cultural Caribbean day during the tour where we just go, we delve into the history, we go to Cologne, we go to Portobello, because Cologne is a province and not just a city. Oh my goodness, we eat amazing food. And then we go to a private island, Isla Mame, out in the province of Cologne. And so that was kind of what came out of our, you know, collaboration. We started this Black Expats in Panama relocation tour, and it started in the midst of the pandemic. So we've been doing the tours now for about 1 year, marked 1 year. And then we have a situation where we are starting to expand and take what we've learned and what we've created in Panama outside. You know, we have footprints in Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, Belize. And so our vision is Black Expats Worldwide, which is our collaboration. And that's what we do. So BLAXIT is a thing. BLAXIT is a real thing. When bad things happen and they make it to the news, like these mass shootings and things like that in the United States, I cannot keep up. There, on any given day, I can have 300 requests to get into my groups, and we vet each and every one. And so everybody is very interested in this movement. And I think that for somebody to tap into this at this stage, you're in front. And that's the same thing that happened to us. We tapped in. I got a trademark on Black Expats in Panama. We created an LLC because people were trying to take it. Okay. And I feel like we were at the beginning of that strong force in that movement then, and that we're still at the beginning, even as far as going out, you know, worldwide. And I just think that I have a passion to tell the story about Black people going to other countries and exercising our right to choose what country we're going to be in. You know, at the end of the day, what most Black expats tell me is that they just don't feel safe, you know, in America. And that is the whole premise behind the big BLAXIT at this time. But for me, I feel like the people who are stretching out, learning that they can live in other places and have some peace and prosperity as well. I think that we're pioneers. And I think that we are our ancestors' wildest dream. And the impact that Black expats in Panama has been able to make on the country of Panama so far has just been amazing. And we have only been doing these tours for a year. And guess what? We are just getting started. You need to be on the beginning of this big movement of Blaxity from the United States. Black expats is a real thing. And for me, it's for the culture, baby. I'm Charlotte Van Horn. It was good chatting with you today. Talk to you soon.